Have you ever had a plan that just didn't go the way you hoped? Like maybe you were going to buy something really exciting, a big surprise for your dad's birthday. You went shopping with your mom, you wrapped it all up, you picked out the perfect gift. And then when you gave it to him, before he can open it, what does your little brother do? He blurts it out and tells him, "It's a new shirt." Or maybe you had these big Christmas get together planned with family, and then new rules came out saying that you couldn't get together. Sometimes things go wrong that are out of our control. We can't plan around little brother's big mouths, and we can't plan around new COVID rules. Some problems are just way too big to handle alone. Problems can make us turn upside down. Now, this is an interesting problem. Before we think about how to solve this problem, we are going to look at the Israelites. They had a big problem. You would think that after all God did for them, they would have learned the lesson that they need to go to God first. But they always seem to forget. Instead of going to God with their problem, they tried to control the situation themselves.
Israel and the Philistines did not get along. The Israelites fought a battle against the Philistines, and the Philistines won. The Israelites were confused. Why had God allowed them to lose? The Israelites made a plan to take the Ark of God to the battle. The Ark of God was a beautiful box from the tabernacle that reminded the people that God was with them. They thought the Ark might help them win the battle. Eli's sons, the priests, took the Ark of the Covenant to the Israelites' camp. When the army of Israelites saw the ark, they shouted with joy, "Surely they would win the battle now." The Israelites fought the battle, but the Philistines won again. Many Israelites died, including Eli's two sons, and the Philistines captured the Ark of God.
The Israelites were a rebellious people. They were often going out on their own, doing things their own way, thinking they could do just fine without God's help. When they lost this battle to the Philistines, they really thought the solution was bringing the ark into battle, like they could make God help them. Instead, they lost another battle. They lost two of their leaders, and they lost the Ark of the Covenant. The Israelites didn't need the ark, they needed God. They put their faith in a thing rather than God himself. They should have asked God to lead them instead of dragging his ark into battle. Listen to what it says in Daniel 2:20-22. "Praise be to the name of God forever and ever. Wisdom and power are his. He changes times and seasons. He deposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him." God is able to help us out with all of our problems. Tricky ones, or ones that are not really that important, like what to do with an upside down glass of water. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? No problem is ever too big for God to solve, even Philistine armies and lost arks of the covenant. Now when Eli, the high priest and the father of Hophni and Phinehas, learned that his sons were dead, he fell down and died as well. Then a man named Samuel, who God loved, became the next high priest. It was he who set Israel straight and helped them settle the score with the Philistines.
The Israelites continued to war with the Philistines. Finally, Israel cried out to God. Samuel told them they must put away their idols and worship God alone. When they admitted their sin before the Lord, Samuel prayed for them and made a sacrifice. The next time Israel battled the Philistines, God confused the Philistines with a loud clap of thunder. The Israelites won the battle. God gave Israel peace as Samuel served as God's judge in the land. God taught the Israelites that he would never leave them. He also taught them to worship him alone. God won't leave us either. Since God is always with us, we should worship him and serve him the rest of our lives.
There was nothing wrong with what the Israelites wanted. The Philistines were mean people. And the Israelites wanted the Philistines to leave them alone. They went into battle not to steal land or property, but to defend themselves. What went wrong was in the heart. The Israelites didn't put God first. God wanted Israel to depend on him alone. He wanted them to remember that great victories he had given them through men like Samson and Gideon, and he wanted them to seek his help. When the Israelites went into battle without God, God let them lose. He did it to remind them they needed God to take the lead. Samuel shows us that we have to put God first in all things. When we do, God will make our path straight. He won't go with us into battle, he will lead us there. He will fight the battle for us, and he will win the day. Now, right before the United States plunged into the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln held a meeting at the White House. After making their plans for war, one of the president's advisors suggested that they say a prayer asking God to go into battle with them. "No," shouted President Lincoln, "do not pray that God goes with us. Pray that we are going with God." God doesn't follow us. We follow God. When we do, we are guaranteed to win the victory. Put God first in your life every day. Submit yourself to him and follow where he leads. God will go before you, and he will give you the victory.